So I heard that people that owns lions and tigers are kind of crazy, but oh my god, I did not know they were this crazy. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about one of the craziest documentaries I have ever seen. Well, I hope before I get this started, this will be kind of a non-spoiler review, just my overall thoughts. And I hope that you and your family are keeping safe and you're keeping your spirits up during this pandemic. I've been pretty busy with school. Actually, my professors are actually giving me a lot of readings and films to watch, and I still have a lot of homework. And this past couple of days, I was also watching this documentary because I really love documentaries that everyone is talking about on Twitter and on the internet. And wow, I have to say this documentary is excellent. It's from the very beginning, it really grabs your attention, and it is called Tiger King. Now, the reason why I was drawn to it is because I do love tigers and lions. I find them fascinating, but at the same time, I do like the concept of them being in their natural environment. I do understand that there are some places out there that they do rescue these animals, they treat them, and then they release them to the wild, and those kind of reservations are the ones that I get my support the most. I remember being a kid and loving the zoo and seeing animals, but once I grew up, I kind of understood the concept of animals in cage, and now I feel like, especially here in New York, I feel like I'm in the cage, and it's just not a good feeling. So I do feel for these animals. I definitely love animals, and I think they should be free in their own environment. That said, obviously animals that are born in captivity, they are never going to readapt out there in the wild, but there's a problem with breeding and all of that. That said, I went into this documentary with this set mind. I thought it was going to be about the tigers and the lions, but no! This documentary is not really about the tigers. I mean, they are a character in this documentary, but this is mostly about the people that own these cats, these giant cats, especially how they're fighting amongst each other. And these people are absolutely insane. These are one of the craziest people I have ever seen. So the documentary mostly follows it follows Joe Exotic. He names himself Joe Exotic, and he is the owner of the GW Zoo. And he absolutely hates the guts of this other cat owner called Carol Baskin, and she leads the big cat rescue, or at least that's what her sanctuary is named. We also have a little bit of a look on this guy called Doc Entel, and his zoo as well, where people can interact. But anyways, the documentary is mostly about Joe Exotic perspective and point of view. So a little bit about this guy. Like I said, this is not a spoiler if this is on the trailer. He is a redneck, gay, and really charming, really an entertainer. That's what this guy is. And for the most part, I was sympathizing with him. But this documentary is insane. Like every single episode, things happen that I wasn't expecting, you know. Like at first I thought it was gonna be this thing, and then no, there's more, and then there's more. It's just there's a little bit of everything. There's adventure, there's a little bit of horror, there's a little bit of murder mystery, and there's just like there's so much. And at the end of the day, my overall thoughts on these people is that I actually, even though I started sympathizing with Joe, at the end of the day, towards the end of this documentary, I could just say none of these people are truly good people. You know, I think all of them in a way were using these animals for their personal gain. The biggest problem in this industry nowadays, it seems to be the breeding of the cubs, because who doesn't want to play with tiger cubs or lion cubs? They are adorable, they're beautiful, but they grow up and they cost a lot of money. And as long as this industry keeps breeding these animals so people can go and play with these animals, they're being born in captivity. I mean, what are you gonna do with these animals once they grow up? You know, there's a lot of there's a lot of problems involving. And in my overall thoughts towards the end of this documentary is that the humans are fighting amongst and eating each other alive, and who's paying the price mostly are the animals. You know, these animals that are in captivity, that are, you know, it's not really about them anymore. It's about this competition and this greed, human greed, and man, it's just, this documentary is fascinating. I definitely recommend, you know, like I said, I went into this because I thought it was going to be something about animals, mostly about you know, observing them and all of that. And even though those elements are there, it's mostly about these humans eating each other alive and competing, and you know how they are dealing with the zoo situation. You know, it's just, there's just so much. This is, but not only that, guys, it's extremely entertaining because these people are absolutely insane, bad shit. Crazy, insane, you know. Joe Exotic is crazy. He's crazy, and so is this other lady that he hates. Her name is Carol Bastin. She has a ton of followers on her Facebook, and I think on all their social media accounts, like 2 million people or more. People donate money to her preservation like crazy, and at the end of the day, I just hated her guts, you know, like I mean, I'm not much of a hater, but at the same time, I just think that she has this persona in front of the cameras, but I don't really think that she cares for the animals either, to be quite honest. But that's my personal opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you watch this. So I don't really trust her. I don't think that she's doing the cats any good, you know. To me, like I said, the good reservations are the one there. There's a lot of reservations out there that they will rehabilitate an animal when they're wounded, or they being rescued from a circus, for instance, and they get them ready and put them back in the wild. Obviously, this cannot happen with animals that have been bred within confinement, because they will not survive out there. But other than that, if they keep breeding these animals, the cycle will never end, you know. But if they give a comfortable life to these animals that have indeed to live in captivity because they were born there, I wish they would at least have a great environment. And like I said, it's just, I have a lot of thoughts about that. I do love animals. I do think that we as humans, we do disrespect animals a lot, you know. We invade their environments, and just the fact that these animals are in cages, you know how they got there, you know. They were taken away from their real environment so we could go there, pay money and watch it. So I really throughout the years, this concept really changed my mind once I grew up and I kind of understood, and now I understand the idea of confinement even more, you know, because I've been confined in my apartment for at least 14 days now. Sometimes I have to go out and get some fresh air because it drives me insane that I cannot just freely go where I want right now with this pandemic. So I feel like this is an excellent documentary. It's extremely entertaining, and like I said, it's like a roller coaster, man. I was like, at one point I was sympathizing with Joe, and then I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I would turn to another person, and then you would find out about some really crazy secret from this person. I was just like, this documentary is a roller coaster. Like I said, extremely entertaining. Joe Exotic is definitely a charming person, you know. He knows how to talk to the public, he knows how to handle people, you know, he knows how to get people to do what he wants as well. But anyways, guys, those are my overall thoughts. Like I said, if you do have time, this is a show I binged for the past couple of days. I couldn't really stop watching because till right now I'm like, oh my gosh. And like I said, the animals are the ones suffering while these humans are eating each other alive. But if you saw this, drop your comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. This is one of the craziest documentaries I've ever seen. I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning, but this documentary is Netflix produced, you know, so it's one of their original series. And I feel like Netflix always have these ideas of crazy subjects for for documentaries, you know, like I just like, it's fascinating to watch this. And not only that, guess what, this Joe Exotic guy was also a president. He was a candidate for to become a president. Can you imagine that? And he really believed that he could become president because like I said, he's very charming. He has a lot of fans. But anyways, guys, this documentary is insane, crazy, great entertainment for you if you like documentary. And those are my overall thoughts. Drop a comment down below if you saw this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Carole Baskin, Joe Exotic, and Doc Antle? I'd love to hear. If you saw it, you already know what happened to them, and you know the kind of stuff that we find out. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to continue the story, because it seems like there's so much to unfold still. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.